Now let's focus on Freedom Day. Today, 28 years ago, millions of South Africans woke up bright and early to join long queues across the nation. It was a special day for the majority of South Africans who voted in democratic elections for the very first time. But then if your loved one who contributed to the fight against apartheid remains missing to this day, what is there to celebrate? How do you find closure and move on when no one is prepared to come forward with the truth? This is the pain Johannesburg resident Bafana Nkutha and hundreds of other people live with. eNCA contributor Mpho Lakaje has this special Freedom Day report.
Deep in thought, wondering if he will ever find out what happened to his beloved brother, Khehla. He was a freedom fighter who left his Alexandra home in the aftermath of the 1976 student uprising. Khehla and a group of activists traveled to Botswana and then Zambia before proceeding to the Soviet Union. Their mission was to join the ANC's armed wing, Umkhonto weSizwe.
I'm told they stayed for like 8 months in Soviet Union, receiving that training. And then thereafter, they were brought to, to Africa in Angola to start, their military process, because my brother was trained, as a fighter, because I'm told was very good, in ammunition, in shooting, from the training that he received from Soviet Union.
From there, Khehla Nkutha was deployed to Angola, where he worked with senior MK leaders like Joe Modise. When his organization failed, he was finally ready to do military work. He was sent to Eswatini to receive new MK recruits who were also seeking training. But apartheid security forces discovered Khehla's political activities. While driving in Eswatini with a fellow guerrilla on the evening of the 23rd of February 1978, the pair were ambushed.
John Majola was shot, and then he managed to escape and then into the bush. And then my brother was also shot, during that shooting, and he didn't die immediately, and then they happened then to come to get hold of him, at that spot. So they took him there, and then they came back, into their country, South Africa, with him alive.
It was the last time Bafana Nkutha heard of his brother Khehla, the breadwinner of the family.
He left a very big gap of poverty here at home, because now we had to, see for ourselves, how do we survive. So that brought up a very big change, a big change of a downfall into the family. And that kept my mother, very stressed until she passed on.
In the 1990s, political prisoners were released, South Africans voted, apartheid collapsed, and Nelson Mandela became president.
And say, so help me God.
So help me God.
Shortly after taking over, Madiba's government established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to promote dialogue between victims and perpetrators of political violence. The commission set up what's known as the Missing Persons Task Team, whose mission is to locate people like Khehla Nkutha. It comprises historians, anthropologists, former police officers, and freedom fighters, focusing on disappearances between 1960 and 1994. Their first point of reference is tracing people who might have crucial information. These include family members, friends, fellow activists, eyewitnesses, perpetrators, or even government data.
We need to check the records from a particular police station or the nearest police station where the incident took place. We need to get those records, which are going to give us a mandate to where to search, how far, understand. We need to get the reports from the police station, if it is possible, if there is a case that was opened or registered, according to the happenings of that particular incident.
In some instances, this extensive research points to possible burial sites. The team would then open up literally hundreds of graves in pursuit of the truth.
We check first the remains inside. We check the data that we obtain from those remains in terms of injuries, identification. From the family, they might say, maybe as an example, they might have false teeth, or comrades who were with him, they will say maybe he had a bangle or whatever thing.
If the remains appear to match those of the person they are searching for, they'll be thoroughly examined. DNA tests will be conducted. Should there be a positive identification, the state and the family take over to give the deceased a dignified burial. This is the kind of closure Kehlang Kuta's relatives hope for. But until then, his brother Bafana remains hopeful that he is still alive.
When I built this house, I would all the time mention and say, you know, within the family, the one bedroom is going to be reserved for my brother when he comes.
Mpho Lakaje, Alexandra, Johannesburg.